Who got the power?
Hi everyone, welcome to a new series I'm starting on my channel called Little Mix Uncovered. I was inspired by the channel Max Z Boss, who has a series called Dance Moms Uncovered, so all credit for the idea goes to her, and I'll link her channel down in the description. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why Little Mix isn't popular in America. Is it just by chance, or is there more to the story? Because I found some stuff that honestly just made me angry and confused. I'm going to be covering their success and popularity in the States, as well as some people who are probably holding them back. Also, remember some of the stuff in this video is just a theory, and we won't actually know what happened unless the girls address it. This is just stuff I found out after doing research. If you like this series, please comment below some other topics you'd like me to discuss. For example, what happened in the Joan of Arc music video, and eventually the Psycho split. The first topic I'm covering is their success. It's obvious Little Mix have at least broken a little bit to the Americans, based on their record sales and appearances alone. For a couple of songs and albums, the numbers in the charts were different, but these are as accurate as I could find. From what I found, 13 out of 24 of their singles hit the American iTunes charts. Their newest single, Breakup Song, ranked at number 9 without any promo. Songs like Woman Like Me, Nothing Feels Like You, Stand Down, Tower, Shout Out to My Ex, and Bounce Back reached the top 20, and some of those weren't even singles. On top of that, all 5 of their albums reached top 50 according to the BILLBOARD charts. For them being a British group and not spending a lot of time in America compared to other artists, I think they're doing pretty well. The next topic is popularity. The girls, believe it or not, have a pretty strong fan base in America. Something I found out recently after looking at my channel analytics was that 13% of my viewers are from the US, making it the top second country on my channel, which isn't that far off from the 20% that are from the UK, which is the top country. During their Salute era, the girls became a lot more popular in the States, which probably came from them touring in the US with Demi Lovato. After announcing their Salute tour, they also released a North American leg that covered 16 cities. Unfortunately, a few months after announcing the tour dates, the girls canceled that part of the tour. They claimed they wanted to work on their new album instead of letting someone else do it for them. While this left a lot of fans hurt, the timing of this does seem to match when the girls completely scrapped the third album and started over. They canceled the tour on July 4th, 2014, and Get Weird wasn't released until November 6th, 2015, which is what I assume is about the time it takes to put together an album. They mentioned how stressed they were, so looking back, it doesn't surprise me that they canceled it since they thought they were going to get dropped from their label. Normally tours are canceled due to not selling enough tickets, but it's obvious that wasn't the case. Next, I'm going to be moving on to their TikTok popularity. TikTok is an app that has taken off. Quite a few of Little Mix's songs have become trends, some even twice. One of the smaller ones was their song Oops, that got some attention on the app. The main two, however, was Wasabi and Love Me Like You. Wasabi took off in 2019 and became a trend using the face tracker feature, and some videos got a couple million views. It blew up again in 2020, but is now called Sweet and Salty, and is part of a remix using another song. The trend is two people duetting, which has caused a lot of big TikTokers to use the sound, including Charli D'Amelio and Addison Rae. Another big trend was the Love Me Like You sound. It was used for a couple of trends, and even David Dobrik used it in a TikTok that featured Beyonce. Something I found out after being a fan for a while is that a lot of people make reaction videos on YouTube. All of the channels that are reacting to Little Mix are American, so I thought that was an interesting fact to just add in here. Little Mix is actually really popular in the dance community. I have even danced to a few of their songs. I found out while I was making my video, people dancing to Little Mix songs, that most of them were American studios. Little Mix also have songs featured in popular American movies like Pitch Perfect 2 and popular shows like Glee. Columbia Records. Now I know this is the part everyone is waiting for. I'm going to cover what happened between Columbia Records and Little Mix. Little Mix got signed to Columbia in January of 2013. The record also has lots of other popular artists signed, such as Adele and Harry Styles. It even had One Direction, Destiny's Child, signed previously. Since Little Mix is a girl group, I chose to focus more on the girl groups and female artists in the industry since most of the evidence I found had to do with sexism and solo ambitions. Some popular female artists that are signed include Dove Cameron, Noah Cyrus, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, and lots more. After researching those artists and the label, I couldn't find any problems between them. All of the singers seemed to be promoted, and there were no public issues that I could find. In an interview, Jade revealed that at a radio event in America, they were told to flirt with music producers to get their song on the radio. They obviously declined and told the label that they wouldn't ever do that. In the beginning of their career, they were told that they shouldn't be involved with their music videos, and they shouldn't write their own songs, so it's not surprising that they were told to do that. I'm not 100% sure which radio event this happened at, but I have a feeling that it might have been the iHeartRadio Festival in 2017. The whole performance that went with it was a mess. Their music started too early, their mics were too low, and on top of that, they were missing Perry. So I have a feeling either that was an outcome of them saying no, or maybe that's what encouraged the label to tell them to do that. Another thing that made me think that this was the performance was because the following year they announced that they were splitting from their label Psycho, which is owned by Simon Cowell. It's obvious Simon has ties with both record labels, so that probably strengthened their decision to change labels. Which brings me to my next discussion point, wanting Perry to go solo. Somewhat recently, the public found out the label's attempt to make Perry go solo and leave the band. Remember, everything here is a rumor and hasn't actually been confirmed by any of the girls, but there's a lot of evidence towards it. From the beginning of their career, Perry has constantly been pushed to be the lead singer of the band, and even go solo. She denied each time and defended the other girls, claiming that they can all sing and not having a lead singer is something that makes them great as a band. In 2018, just before the release of their album LM5, it's rumored that Simon Cowell and Columbia Records worked closely to try and break up the band. They claim that the band isn't good or interesting enough to make it in the States, and Perry would do well as a solo artist. The only thing that doesn't line up is in a recent interview, they were asked if any of them had gotten solo offers, to which they answered no. So I'm not sure if they were avoiding this topic or if it never happened. It's claimed they had private meetings with Perry and she declined the offers each time. As a result, Columbia said that they wouldn't promote LM5 at all in the States, and they've really kept their word. I looked through Columbia's Instagram, and all the way up to the release of LM5, they had decent promo. It wasn't great, but it was even compared to the other artists that were signed to them. As soon as LM5 was released, there was no promo and barely any mention of them. Even today, they rarely mention them, and it's hard to even tell that they're on the label. For example, look at the comparison between the release of Harry Styles' music video for Watermelon Sugar and the release for Little Mix's breakup song. It's not even comparable. They didn't even tweet anything for breakup song, just retweeted the stuff the girls already said. 10 posts for Watermelon Sugar and 2 posts for breakup song, and that's just on Twitter. Something that disturbed me was looking at the posts that they did make. Lots of them would just be of one of the girls, either from a photo shoot or from the girl herself, not anything about the music. They would post a happy birthday message for one of them, but use a picture that probably wasn't meant for promotion. The fact that Columbia basically used the girls for their looks and appearance and not for their music really bothers me. Looking at their website, they're barely on there too. They have 4 featured music videos on there, all from over a year ago. One of the featured videos has over 1 billion views, so I understand why they kept that one on there. Another one I understand is Old Town Road, since it got so popular here. But the other 2 videos only have 2 million views, so why would they put those on there, especially if they're not new? To me, it makes sense to include videos that were more recent to help promote them. They also have 4 featured playlists on there. The first one is pretty standard, called Weekly Mix, but doesn't have any of Little Mix's songs on there. The next one confused me, because it's called On the Rise, but when you click on it, it brings you to a completely different playlist. The next one is called New Now, but when you click on it, it's empty. The last one is called Jams, and it features Joan of Arc, No More Sad Songs, and Touch, but I find it weird that they only have 2 playlists that are linked correctly and have songs on them. Another thing that has been brought to attention is that they have certifications in the US that Columbia won't even give to them. They also have performed on big American shows like The Ellen Show, America's Got Talent, Kids' Choice Awards, and the Teen Choice Awards. They even won a Teen Choice Award for Breakout Artist. One thing I do want to quickly talk about is collabs. They have collabed with really popular American artists such as Nicki Minaj, Jason Derulo, Charlie Puth, and Machine Gun Kelly. 3 out of 4 of those songs were singles. Some were even performed with the feature, however, each of those performances were in the UK. For me, it's a little strange that they performed with Jason Derulo more than once, and not one of those performances were in America. That could have brought a lot more attention to the group by just simply singing the song with them in the US. Although Charlie Puth is not liked in the fandom, I do think that if they would have made Oops a single and promoted it in the US with Charlie, it would have gotten pretty big. It sounds exactly like all of Charlie Puth's songs that have gotten really popular over here. It's rumored that Little Mix have a contract with Columbia for 6 albums. So hopefully after they release LM6, they will split from Columbia and get signed to a new label that will respect them and promote their music by posting more than just a picture. Here are some other smaller topics. The group started taking off in the States, especially after the release of Shout Out to My Ex and performing on the Dangerous Woman tour. It was obvious that in all of their intimate gigs, they were full and completely sold out. They have the fan base and the girls want to do it, so why not just let them establish a name here? From what I can tell, the US has no problems with girl groups. Groups like Fifth Harmony, Destiny's Child, and the Spice Girls have all been big here and have done really well, so there's no reason why Little Mix can't have the same thing. A lot of people say the type of music in the US is different, which I can agree, but only in some areas. Every town and every state has different types of music that they like, so you're bound to find somebody who likes the style of Little Mix's songs. If you enjoyed this type of video, please let me know some other topics I can discuss. Remember, all of this is just a theory and we won't actually know anything until the girls address it.